Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you read by the title, today I'm going to be testing out a brand new foundation, which I'm so stoked about. So I'm going to be reviewing, demoing, wear test, first impression, everything of the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. So it looks just like this. It comes in this box. And I actually got it on Ulta.com and it arrived today, so I figured I would do it and also do a wear test since I am going to run a few errands later. But before we get into it, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And also follow me on my social media, which will be listed down below. And without further ado, we can go ahead and jump right into the video. I actually saw this on Trend Mood's Instagram for the first time. I had no idea that this was going to release. So this is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. So this released, I think, literally 2 days ago on Ulta.com, and I ordered it that day that I saw it, and it arrived today, which is July 1st. So I'm pulling up the information on Ulta.com here on my phone, and there's already actually 2 reviews, and so far it's just a 3-star foundation from the 2 reviews. It says that there is 29 shades available on Ulta's. I heard from Trend Mood that they were releasing more shades in July, like in the middle of July sometime. So this is a 1-ounce foundation and the price was $16. So it is a little bit up there for a for drugstore foundation. It's kind of pricey. I was expecting it to be like 11 or something, but it is 16 and I'm just now realizing it was $16. Right here on Ulta's website, it says the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Foundation is a hydrating foundation that delivers medium buildable coverage with a natural skin finish infused with coconut water and hyaluronic acid for hydrated luminous skin. The flexible formula provides undetectable medium to full coverage that lasts all day. This vegan foundation is dermatologist tested, oil-free, alcohol-free, and fragrance-free. So I would definitely have to say that this foundation sounds like it is more for sensitive skins and dry skin. So sensitive, dry skin, that is what it sounds like right now. As hyaluronic acid is always a great ingredient to have in your skincare or even your makeup. And my skin has been fairly dry lately. I think it's because of all the acne products I've been using. It's been just drying out my skin a little bit because I have been breaking out quite a lot here in my chin area, and I do have a breakout here, if you can see. So it'll be interesting to see if this foundation can actually cover it. And also, an FYI guys, I got the shade medium 80W. So I actually do have the primer, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. So that is what I will be using today. I'm going to shake it up. I've only used this once. I used it for my full face using Colourpop, and I really liked it, especially because of the hyaluronic acid. So now that my face is primed, I also added some of my e.l.f. putty primer just over here. My camera just cut off, so I didn't show that part, but that is what I added here. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so it's like a plastic bottle and it has a pump, which is awesome. It looks really tiny. It looks identical to the primer, literally the same, except obviously the inside is different. So it looks like it'll match me pretty well actually, so I'm really happy I got this shade. I'm gonna use my beauty blender on the left side of my face, which is this side for you guys, and then I will use a brush on this side. I never use a brush to do my foundation, but I do want to test it out to see if there's a difference, if there's more full coverage with like the brush or the beauty blender, whatever the case is. I want to know, like I want to know. And it's on the back of my hand and it's very liquidy actually. So that's what that's looking like, and right off the bat I actually really like the coverage and the consistency of it. It blended out really easy and beautiful, but it still has some coverage. I will definitely have to say it is medium coverage, but because you can still see some of my acne still peeking through just right there. It's just a tiny, just a little bit red, so nothing major, but it did blend out really pretty and smooth. So far so good. There we go. So that is the Beauty Blender side. And yeah, like I said, you can just see a little bit of the redness peeking through right here, but nothing major. And yeah, it's covering. I really like the consistency of it. It's really silky. So I'm going to use this brush now. This is the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush, and I did just wash it, so there's like nothing, no previous foundation that I used on here. It smells pretty good. I think it's dry. I really like the consistency of this foundation. It's really nice. And I do have some breakouts here as well, so we'll see if it covers it. Alright, so right off the bat, I can tell that this side definitely has more full coverage than this one does. This one is just a little more natural, and this one blended out a little fuller. So I do really like this side. I'm actually, every time I use this brush, I'm like surprised that I like using this brush. Usually I hate using brushes, but this Sigma one is really, really good. So I definitely like, I don't know if I'm speaking too soon, but I think I like the brush side a little better. It's definitely medium coverage though. The brush side definitely made it just a little more full coverage, but still medium. So you can build it up, and I usually hate building up foundations just because of how thick foundations usually are, that it makes me feel like I have like 10 pounds of makeup on. But because of this consistency, I kept saying how smooth it was and how like thin. I feel like I wouldn't even mind packing this foundation on to build it up, just because it's such a thin formula. So I actually wouldn't mind, but this is a really pretty like everyday foundation. I feel like I'm not mad at it at all, but we'll see how it holds up. I'm actually going to go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera, and I will come back to show you guys what it looks like with everything put together. So this is what the foundation is looking like now after I did my whole face, and I used some of my favorite products on my face, so I know that it is not going to change my like perspective on the foundation. So overall, just looking at it, let me just see. Definitely looks like it's medium to full coverage. It actually looks a little more full coverage than I thought it would, and that could be because of everything else I put on top, but it does look really flawless and smooth, and I have like no complaints about it right now. It also feels super lightweight on my skin. Like I said, when I was applying it, it felt like so thin, so I really like that because it feels like my my skin can actually breathe, but it still looks like looks actually super full coverage after I layered everything on top. When I first put on the foundation just by itself, it did look more medium coverage, but after I put my powders and everything, it did blend out to be a little more full coverage. Everything is good. So far, so good. Like, it does look really smooth on my skin. It doesn't emphasize any texture, and I have been breaking out quite a lot, so I'm really happy that it's not emphasizing that. It's kind of like smoothing it out, I feel. So I'm gonna do a wear test, guys. I'm going to run some errands, and it's like 90 degrees in Texas or hotter. And so I'm gonna do the test and run errands with a mask and everything, and really show you guys in a few hours. I don't know when my next update will be, but I'm gonna show you guys just what it looks like afterwards. That is a true test. I have some foundations that even with a mask, even with the heat, it looks like I didn't touch my face at all. But there are other foundations that look good at first, and then after spending a day with it on, it just completely wipes away. The L'Oreal Infallible is pretty equivalent to this foundation. Like, it kind of gives off that same, it's kind of, yeah, it feels very, very similar to the L'Oreal Infallible, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. The consistency's the same, the formula feels the same, it's very like thin, and also everyone knows that the L'Oreal Infallible is more like a natural foundation. This is the same thing, and let me see how much that one is. Okay, so it's $15, so it's not much of a difference. I don't know, I just feel like, yeah, dang, these drugstore foundations are getting pricey. I was expecting this one to be like $12, so I will go ahead and leave now, run my errands, because it's already 5 o'clock, as you can see there. I'm gonna run some errands. Everything's closing in like 2 hours, so I have to get this done, and I will be back to show you guys my update after however long it takes me. So I'll catch you guys in a few hours. So before I take my makeup off, I wanted just to come on here and show you guys I'm gonna say a 4-hour update, and we'll just go over everything. And again, like I said, I was wearing a mask for the whole time I was getting my nails done. That was about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And I live in Texas and it is so hot right now, so just keep that in mind. It actually held up really well. I don't see it looking oily at all, which I'm surprised about. You may notice something over here, and that is actually where I applied highlighter earlier today, just a little bit. Usually with foundations, I tend to get most oily like right here around my nose area and right here around my mouth. And just looking at my foundation, it looks like it's not oily at all, which I'm super shocked about, because I've done several reviews on my channel and you guys can go check them out so you guys know what I mean. But I always get oily here on my mouth area, my nose. It is very intense. I get super oily, and this one is great. Like, it doesn't look oily at all, and I'm genuinely so surprised because I tend to get so oily everywhere. And let me zoom you guys in so you guys can see. So my lipstick came off because I just ate, but like, do you guys see? I put highlighter here, and highlighter here. Those are the only places, and obviously here, but that's it. Usually I get super oily around my mouth area. The coverage is still great. Like, it didn't rub off at all. One thing I will note is that you can see the mark right here from my mask, but even then, like, I would have thought my mask is really tight. It's not one of those disposable ones that are kind of loose fitting. I got mine from Target, and it's like a cloth mask, and it's super tight on my mouth. It's not, I got the kid size because I have a small face, so it's extra tight. And for it being that tight, it's always tight around my cheek area, and it's still super intact. Like, so yeah guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will definitely catch you guys in my next one.